And we are live. Apparently, we're not doing the intro, so that's completely thrown me off. But welcome back to another Dynamite. You said you were doing the StreamYard stuff. Anyways, welcome back to another
my Wi-Fi just went crazy, so it's
good start. Good
my
start.
bad.
As you can see, we are here. We haven't got our usual booth because we don't know what our usual booth is at the moment, but we are back with Dynamite Review. We are a day late because yesterday was 4th of July. Before we get into all of that, though, please do like, subscribe, send your super chats if you're feeling generous. We've got a lot to get into today because Dynamite was a pretty good episode, almost.
I said violating the rules now.
You know what?
No, we're good.
Can we just like end the stream, try again? No one will remember this.
We're live, pal.
We're good. This is live content. It's what we do, you know.
Mm-hmm. I have had quite the week. I am blaming it on that, but I'm not going to talk about my week. Monty, how's your week been? It's been a while since you've been on the Thursday show.
It has, and it's good that I'm coming back on an episode that was as good as it was on Wednesday night. You know, obviously we couldn't do the review yesterday because 4th of July, we had too many people. You know, we had too many people out of action. Didn't want to force it. Thought, you know what, let people enjoy the 4th of July. Not do the British takeover. You know, didn't put in the call to Joe Hall, but didn't go crawling back to Joe Hall, but just yet. But yeah, man, my week's been good. You know, watched a bit of Euro football. You know, wrestling's been good, and yeah, man, good stuff.
Good stuff on the sports side, indeed. Marcus, how have you been? How's your week been?
My week's been pretty good. 4th of July was pretty fun. Hung out with the fam and all that. And the best part of the week, other than Dynamite being great, my Monty Bucks from Monty Heyman himself finally touched down in the mail. A little delayed, just a little bit. It was. But it touched down.
It was.
Touchdown. You finally found it underneath your bed, underneath your mattress. You say, you know what? Let me go and stop being a cheapskate and send it on over. But, you know, doing all right. Dynamite was fire. Been waiting to talk about it. We're a little late because, you know, obvious reasons, but we're here now. So let's get it.
We're here. Nothing wrong with a Friday review. We get into it sometimes. But before we do get into Dynamite, because there is a lot to get into, we do have a few super chats to get into, so hit some of those first.
You're back.
I'm back.
You're back. This is...
Okay.
You can see what the energy is going to be for this stream. It's very chaotic.
My unreliable Wi-Fi was just... It just wasn't cooperating on tonight.
Was it unreliable or about to run off?
Listen, normally... I'm not usually the Wi-Fi messing up kind of guy, you know, but tonight, I don't know, man. That's what I mean. That's why I tried to stick it out after the beginning. Anyway, where was we?
Gonna jump into.
I was getting accusations thrown at me.
Are there accusations?
I'm just saying, it was a little late this month, you know. Blame Tony Khan and the way he schedules his pay-per-views, and you know.
What's Tony Khan got to do with that?
Forbidden Door was great, by the way. New York was a lot of fun. I should probably mention that. I did go. I was there.
You did.
I did.
So how long was you in New York for?
Oh my god. I landed at 4 p.m-ish Eastern time on Saturday. And then I flew back at 1:30 in the morning Eastern time Tuesday morning. So like 70 hours maybe. Not very long.
Oh. You had a good time, though. You had good shows, you know.
Yeah, went to a good
meet up with anyone that
had some fun interactions, had some breadsticks.
I had some breadsticks. I went to Olive Garden with Lyric. Shout out Lyric. We stayed together that entire weekend, actually. Who else did I meet this week? There was a lot. I got to meet Tony D, who does the Tony D joints. If you know who he is, he's a videographer on Twitter. Great guy, does a lot for GCW. No, not Tony D'Angelo.
I thought you were thinking about Tony D'Angelo.
No.
Yeah.
No. Videographer does a lot of stuff for GCW.
Still working on it.
Still, you know. Still working on it. Some people. There was who else was that? I don't know. There was a lot of people. Kate from Fightful. We hung out a little bit. I met Peach. Queen of the Ring was also there. Yeah. I met Peach. Me and Peach got selfies together. It's on my Instagram. I don't think they ever got posted to Twitter, but one of us will get around Twitter eventually.
I bet you did.
What does that mean?
Dangerous link up.
What, me and Peach? I didn't take
Anyway.
selfies with everyone I was with. Anyways, there was a lot of cool people. Excuse me. The show was a lot of fun. I have not seen the Jericho match because I spent it going to the bathroom and getting a drink. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, good pay-per-view.
Gotta pick your spots, man. You know,
gotta pick your spots. It was a 14 match card, 15 match if you count the Serpentico Carl Fletcher squash.
No one counts that shit.
Yeah, that happened.
No one counts that shit, but I was in my seat when it did happen, so.
That did happen. You know, that did happen.
Should get into some super chats.
Yeah, let's do it. Showtime Spurs, $5. Appreciate you as always. No more Dumb Guy Live, no more on Purist. Hulbert on hiatus. It's like AEW Summer 2022.
Hey, man.
Products in shambles.
Hey, man.
The Dumb Guy Live thing, bro, is literally mainly because just, bro, the Japanese wrestling scene these days is, you know, it's not ideal, especially when you're a content creator and you feel like you have to kind of like drag it. Well, you know, Parker said it all in like his the announcement to it yesterday, like when you have to kind of like drag yourself through, you know, content and stuff. So, you know, blame that. No more unpurists. Well, I mean, they're all basically still around, you know.
Yeah, we hold it down. We thugging it out.
We got one on screen right now. Like, you know, Fortune 4 now, though. You know, Fortune 4. But
at the rebrand,
and Hulbert's on hiatus. You know, we're gonna push some new up and coming stars. We're gonna do some things. You know. And,
shout out Anna taking on the Monday responsibility.
See, this is on. Look at that for a signing. You know, one out. Big star in. This is what we do. Anyway.
I'm meeting Anna next month. It's going to be so much fun. I'm very excited.
God bless. That's a real linkle. You know, not as dangerous as that peach lady. Anyway, Jeremy Corbyn. Jeremy Corbyn, $2. I'm back, bitches. He is.
Yes. Islington North. We wanted to see it as an independent party.
Y'all got that one. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know what this man is.
You went live. Like, no, I'll get back into it if people want me to. But shout out Jeremy Corbyn, real man.
Anjan PN, $2. Appreciate it as always. Goes on Graps. Don's WrestlePurists Worldwide. Don's on Purist. WrestlePurists Forbidden Door. Hashtag Mega Pop.
I mean,
hey man, what we doing?
We haven't done Girls on Graps in a minute because I'm almost always busy on Sundays, but we'll get back around to it eventually. It'll come back.
It's a fluid show. You know,
it is.
Who knows? He might just pop up on a Tuesday afternoon one day. You know, you never know.
You never know.
Madfan84, 199. Appreciate you as always. Has there ever been Tory heel gimmick in Brit Rest? Charlie would know.
Pretty much every heel in Brit Rest gets called a Tory. So, I mean, Spike Gervais is probably the closest. I think Spike Gervais was pretty much a Tory. So,
I mean, half the British wrestling scene is probably Tories, if we're being real.
I mean, yeah, if we're talking like real, then 75% of them are Tories. They drive around in BMWs. You know. But gimmick-wise, Spike Gervais is probably the closest one.
And that's the salt and appreciate you as always, $2. As a brown man, I'm glad Sunak is gone. Wanker. Well, there you have it, folks.
I'm not touching that one.
The booty bounty hunter. That picture is wild. $2. The WrestlePurists I love is dead. Rest in peace, Hulbert. Don't go live on Purist. This is the first time this person sent a super chat to us just to kind of like try and dance on our grave, bro. That's crazy. Anyway,
hey man, gotta miss the homies, bro. It is what it is. Worth the Master P.
Anjan PN, $2. Is Dumb Guy Live done because the yen is down? Hashtag pump up the yen. Well, I mean, you know, if New Japan was out here spending millions of dollars on talent, maybe the Japanese professional wrestling scene and other companies around it would be a bit more in a healthier position, creating better content for creators to talk about, you know?
Indeed.
But, you know, well, the current stardom, bro, like, who do we... I love Parker, Jamie, Murph, you know, but expecting someone to do like, you know, current New Japan and Stardom because they're the main two, you know. And the Marigold stuff can be exciting, and I'm sure like we'll probably do like a couple pay-per-view reviews and stuff like that. Like this upcoming one, I think it's July 13th with like Io Sky, Saree Julia, like, and all these matches on it. So maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe.
Is Julia even cleared?
I don't think so, no, but
Probably
she's traveling to do these Marigold shows, so I'm not sure what the actual situation is this weekend. But in terms of the July 13th, the big match with Saree, who knows? Maybe it'll be like a Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre kind of thing at WrestleMania, where it's just like
She could be
barely, like wrestling, but kind of shouldn't really,
I
It only
guess
goes 10 minutes, something like that.
they might be able to work around it more with it being a wrist injury.
Absolutely. So
probably,
I guess
but
we'll
like
see.
considering how she wrestles, it's gonna be a little difficult.
Yeah, a little more.
Berkey 199, appreciate it as always. We need to have a conversation about Coach Joe Hulbert. We actually do, because like we grant Joe Hulbert, even though he's a contracted talent, we grant Joe Hulbert permission to explore other ventures, like this coaching thing that he's picked up recently. And the results he's producing are not worth us losing such a big star, because what happened to poor Daniel Garcia, who was under the tutelage of Coach JH, was quite saddening to see, to be honest.
Hey, man, listen. In defense of my homie Joe, in defense of Coach JH, you can't control outside distractions. And what happened on Dynamite was an outside distraction. It happens. He had the game plan. He had it won. He cooked up the perfect plan. Then the fourth quarter happened, and then a streaker ran out into the ring, aka MJF with the diamond ring, and shit just went left.
I mean, he's been hanging around. He should have factored for it, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes,
Charlie, look, a good coach would have prepared for the possibility of these things unfolding and happening, because we all knew it, we all saw it, and at the start of the show,
hey, bro,
MJF has to be in the corner. Coach Hulbert was sitting at home. Did he send a text to DG? I don't think he did. Cannot confirm that. But these are just accusations I'm just throwing around out there right now,
Allegedly.
I can say you can bring a horse to water, you can't make it drink.
This is true.
Fair points, but I just think, like Berkey says, this is the conversation, and it's worth the conversation, because I'm looking at him a little bit sideways right now. He needs to produce something.
We know you are.
Comparing
Hulbert to Gareth Southgate is foul. Oh my god.
I mean, he's a bit more. He's a bit more. A bit more attacking minded than Southgate. Southgate is pretty useless. I won't go that far. We're not there yet. But I'm just saying there's some early red flags for our guy. And I love and support him, but you gotta be honest. If it wouldn't be family if I wasn't honest. And it's. Hope he bounces back, and we'll see what happens.
All he needs is an organization that trusts him and loves him. That's all he needs.
He's got our support. We give him the freedom to go and do this venture. We could have locked him down. Could have added injury time to his contract. We could have done all these different things. We was like, no.
He said he was trying to. I don't know.
Oh no, we saw what WWE did with Becky Lynch, just kind of let her free to kind of, take the time that she needs to do whatever she needs to do. And I thought, Joe Hulbert may need to do something like that. But as of right now, this is like if Becky Lynch, I don't know, brought out a terrible book. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say here, but he's not doing good, people. Anyway. Jamie Ross, £5. Appreciate you always. Big honcho over here at WrestlePurists. Gonna run my own homeless vignettes like Nakajima after Don got live disbanded.
Hey man, you can always go to Glee like Nakajima did.
Glee, Jesus.
That's on him. Sure. All right, Dingo, $4.99. Appreciate it. First on Super Chat, I believe, maybe. A show I've been on anyway, so I appreciate you. I'm going to my first AEW show tomorrow for Collision in South Haven. I'm so excited. I hope they announce more for the show. I'm sure they will. I'm pretty sure
they will. Rampage tonight, so enjoy the show. Collision tapings are fun.
Yeah, Collision was pretty great. I went to one when they went to dailies. That shit was really, really fun.
Is it Hangman Jay White's on Collision, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So you've got quite the matchup there.
Oh, they also added Riho versus Lady Frost.
Yeah, then MJF opening the show. That's going to be I think a pretty big announcement going to come out of that. So
yeah.
You know.
Oh, this is hilarious. They had the trios match.
Oh no.
It's Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly versus, drumroll please, the Iron Savages.
Nice.
The Iron Savages.
What? What? I ain't getting into Iron Savage. I ain't getting into Iron Savage's discourse, because they're not on this good show, Dynamite.
This is why we don't have a collision review.
They're like the one collision team that always wants to work Saturday, and it pops me. I can't.
Yeah, they're always there on a Saturday. It's like, bro, take a break. I don't know what to tell you.
Who else wants to work? Somebody got to do it.
Florentina Perez, $5. Appreciate you. I don't know if this is as always or if it's first time. Happy to see him sharing the wealth. Florentina Perez, $5. Great getting Anna in before the end of the transfer window. Money always important to sign Brazilian talent at that level.
Thank you, Ibu.
Anyway,
that was quick.
And that's assault on $2. DG needs a place with structure. Anyways, #sarcasm. Yeah, that it was quite bold of Ethan Page to come out and talk about. For anyone who doesn't know the context of the joke in the super chat, I think he was on Talking Shop. Ethan Page was on Talking Shop, and he was talking about like first coming into NXT, and he was like, I was coming from somewhere that was like so chaotic and unorganized, and and now coming in, he's such a well-organized machine, and doing that kind of thing. And obviously that quote was, it's quite the quote going around. And, some people aren't happy about it. Some people kind of shrug the shoulders at it. Some people, whatever, I don't know. I haven't really got too much to say on it, to be honest. I think it's just a thing where, I think it's, like I said, it was kind of bold of him to kind of say it as bluntly as he did. I think it's more so the unorganized part of it rather than calling it chaotic, because I think people have called it chaotic in the past. He's not the first person to say something along the lines of this, but when you say unorganized and then you go, your next sentence is then WWE, it's obviously always going to be interpreted a certain way, even if you didn't mean it to come across. And I don't know what he meant, how he meant it to come across, so I don't think it's that big of a deal,
It's not. He got a main event on NXT pay-per-view that sucked, and you got a main event at the end of the day. He's doing his thing.
I think he's an all right. I think he's a decent. Jesus, Charlie.
I didn't realize that you could. My bad. I forgot that was.
Punch him out mid-podcast.
I was putting my phone down, but there was something wrong. Continue.
What was Ethan Page? Yeah, I think he's a decent TV character, and I don't expect him to be like NXT World Champion or anything, but kind of floating around like the upper mid card NXT. Might go to the main roster and kind of just float around as like a character that can kind of just, because he can do all the elements, It's just that he doesn't. He's just nothing too much that jumps off the page. He's not like an amazing worker. Like it's,
He's just kind of a guy.
I mean, you said it,
Y'all like Ronnie Man?
Well, yeah, man. Anyway,
that
is the
Dynamite.
Super
Let's get into it.
Yeah, Dynamite. Let's talk about Dynamite.
Indeed.
Go on, Charlie. Get us started. You have notes. You're the professional. Wednesday's Dynamite.
I've composed myself now. There's not going to be any scrambling. Dynamite opened up with a promo with Renee, Daddy Magic, and Daniel Garcia. This was something that they actually stuck to throughout the night. They did quite a few of these backstage segments with Renee, which I thought was pretty good, actually. It added a lot of a sort of sports element to the show. But Garcia was saying that he's no stranger to high-pressure situations and that he respects everything about Ospreay, and then goes on to swear on his mother that he won't be losing this match, which not sure I agree with that sort of tactic.
He's sorry, Joe. He's always so dramatic with stuff like this. But his fans, and obviously just the AEW fan base in general, though, even though we've seen him lose big match after big match after spot he's put in, it's like because he's the last like 3 or at least 2 of his like title shots have been, this is the one, you know, I've always been a loser and I can't lose this one. This one's for my mama. Like he's like, like he gets you all fired up and then he just heartbreaking and he loses again. So it's
like, all I know is Monty, black man to half black man. When the nigga says "on my mama," don't believe that man. You know what's gonna happen.
Hey, I don't know, man. It's well, I'm sure we're going to talk about Garcia a lot tonight.
Oh
know,
yes.
So.
Yeah. That wasn't the end of the segment though, because Jacob Friedman had to make his presence known, and he came in. And Danny tried to talk about the All-In match again, but Max cut him off and said that he's got other things to focus on and there's time for that later. And offered to come out to ringside with Max and be in his with Danny, and be in his corner. And Garcia accepted. He left the frame. And Daddy Magic offered a handshake to MJF, which was accepted, saying that he's got no issue with him because he's proved that he's there for Garcia. I didn't trust anything about this segment, which was the right approach to have, but. We got some of your thoughts, Monty. What did you think of the segment overall, though?
I mean, especially with it opening the show, you know, like if you're gonna include a detail like that to open the show, of course it's gonna lead to something like pretty dramatic. You know, It wasn't just something kind of thrown in for the sake of it mid-show. You know, so yeah, and obviously it's MJF. You know, it's alarm bells going off there. So don't trust that man. And we saw what happened. You know. But I like the Renee. I like the Renee interviews. You know, just utilizing her as much as possible. I like the backstage stuff. I like it when she does like the kind of like the little thing she does at the ramp sometimes before an entrance.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff. Just utilize her because she's so good at just kind of just doing any kind of task that you throw at her. You know, so good shit.
Marcus, what were you feeling about it?
I liked it because, like Monty said, it led to something. And it was a good through line that you started off with this. You know something is going to go down in the main event. And I like that they kept it in focus for us. And also, Renee Paquette is just great. She's like one of the best hires they've ever made backstage. She adds so much gravitas and stuff. And like the Wolf of Wrestling thing that MJF said when he first came back, it's like everyone just took the "I'm not fucking leaving" thing he said. But the other part is Jordan Belfort's a piece of shit. And you saw what happened with Max. He's still a piece of shit. Yep. Breaking news, you know. So good segment all around. Set a lot of stuff up for the night.
Yeah,
and
it didn't take up too much time, but it was short and effective. And we went straight into the first match of the night, which was the Owen Hart Cup semi-finals between Bryan Danielson and Pac. And this Chicago crowd treated this match like it was the main event of a pay-per-view. For a match that had been building for 6 months. It was kind of crazy, the reaction they had to like the opening of this. But it's kind of the match you sort of expect between Bryan and Pac. Like there was a lot of drama. Well, there wasn't a lot of drama to start. They were just like trying to grapple for the upper hand, and they built to the drama. And the closing stretch had Danielson hitting the knee, but he wasn't able to capitalize on it. And he ended up winning with a crucifix pin. He didn't get like clean's not the right way because he did win clean, but he didn't get, I guess, like definitive. Thank you, good word, a definitive win over Pac. But Bryan Danielson has moved on to the next round of the Owen Hart Cup tournament, and that's the semi-finals. He's moved on to the finals. He's moved on to the finals. I don't know. This tournament's confusing.
Yeah. I don't like how AEW does that. Like
it's so like
it's not. It doesn't line up with each other. Like Bryan's in the final.
And there was an opening round.
Then they did Hangman versus Jeff Jarrett. And now Hangman's facing Jay White to get into the finals, face Bryan, who wrestled on Wednesday the same day. But it's just weird, you know.
It's very, very weird. But this match was very, very good, and they got plenty of time, and it kind of flew by in the opening of Dynamite. And I don't know whether it was the crowd, whether the way it was they wrestled it, the way that like the show was structured, but it felt like peak 2021 Dynamite in this first 20 minutes, and I had a great time with it. Marcus, what did you think of the match?
Can I just say really fast that AEW is starting a Dynamite with a wrestling match?
Crazy concept, I know.
Thank you. a wrestling match in front of a hot crowd with stakes, with two really great wrestlers, and it was exactly how I thought it was going to be. I would say my favorite spot from that entire match was the diving elbow off the thing from Pac. That was brutal as hell. And I'm trying to get the upper hand. They wrestled it like it was a tournament match. They wrestled it like they're trying to go to Wembley Stadium, and that's something that I appreciate from them. And I like the approach they took. And also with Brian's match from Shingo on Forbidden Door, following up with this. My man's 2 for 2 in this tournament. He's on to the finals. And let's see if he can bring it on to Wembley.
We will see. It's getting interesting. It's getting interesting the way that this tournament's going, because Brian was it was reported earlier that he's the favourite to win the tournament. But we've already talked about who the wild card is, and I don't know, man. I still have my suspicions, but we'll see. We'll talk about that later. Monty, what did you make of Brian versus Pac?
This was real. You know, this is the Dynamite I know and love. This is a Dynamite that doesn't make me come on here grumpy and got my list and my rants ready to go and my yapping, you know. But like you said, Charlie, like the crowd was just like they were into this just from the get go, and I think, of course, like Brian Danielson and Pac are two people who can ride that wave, you know, and they absolutely did. I love the competitive spirit and nature of this match. Really felt like a tournament match, like Marcus said as well, and this was just great. This was just great. Both of them looked really sharp, you know. It almost kind of threw me off, even though they're both so good. Like just kind of how sharp and just kind of locked in they were. I know like, we throw that around, but they were locked in. They produced there, and of course Brian Danielson getting the win. I don't think it surprised anybody really. Kind of surprised with the way he got the win. I think Charlie already touched on it, but yeah, man, Brian Danielson, the favorite. I think he's gonna go to Wembley and get it done. You know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I've been very bullish on what I think the Wembley match is. So if Brian wins, it makes me look like an idiot, but I'm not going to complain because that match will still be 6. So.
No, I will not be upset at either outcome whatsoever.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will not be upset. It's just interesting, the approach they've taken to it. But I want to know what Pac's going to be doing now, because we all knew that he wasn't going to win the tournament. Like, I had no disillusion about that. But he's going to be cleared for Wembley this year. Like, I want to know what he's going to be doing.
Yeah, they've got to have something for him. They've got to have something like significant for him. Like, I don't know, man. I think kind of like the early indications will probably be he ends up doing some sort of trios or some bullshit, you know?
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's a very AEW thing to do, but I think that they should do something fun and outside the box and have him do an open challenge and just have it be Ricochet, because it's going to be a fucking sick match.
Ooh.
So I think they should do an open challenge with Ricochet. Because if everyone's like, "Oh, Ricochet's going to go straight for Ospreay," and I'm just like, "No, that's boring. That's the obvious choice. Let's do something fun."
Yeah, you got build
that match will be there when you get back. That's
exactly.
That's his only dream. Like, there's loads of like, imagine like you can throw names from anywhere with someone like a talent of Ricochet's level. Like pretty much any good worker, which AEW has plenty of, you know. Yes. You can be like, "Oh yeah, dream match, whatever." But in terms of like an actual, you know, match that like fans always fantasy book, it's, you know, Ricochet and Ospreay, you know, meeting again after both of their careers have kind of gone in weird directions, you know. So, you know, people would really love to see that. So I think you can kind of build to that and do the other matches that I mentioned that you can kind of just pick off from anywhere, and yeah, then eventually build to like Ospreay Ricochet. That could be a world title match for AEW, because you know Ospreay is probably going to hold the belt at some point. So we'll see what happens.
And they're both far better wrestlers than they were in like 2016.
Oh yeah,
by far.
Yeah.
God bless. Yeah. Speaking of great wrestlers, though, Willow was backstage with Renee next, and she was cutting a promo. She said that Chris Statlander and Stokely don't take her seriously, and they mock her positive outlook and her nothing matters smile anyway mantra that she has. But she doesn't say, she says that they don't understand the importance of the words, and especially to the little girl who wanted to be one of the best wrestlers in the world, but faced a lot of setbacks like in that journey to get there. And she said she's going to kick Stat's butt and get to the world title because nothing matters in Smile anyway. So just another really great promo from Willow Nightingale. She is the ace of AEW when it comes to their baby faces. I don't think it matters regardless of gender. She's just one of the best that they have signed, and I love her, and I really want her to be the world champion at some point. Monty, did you like her promo this week?
Yeah, Willow don't miss when it comes to just cutting a babyface fired up promo. Even the ones that aren't fired up, and it's just kind of like happy vibes. You know,
Yeah.
just Willow being Willow. She's so infectious. That's always the word that jumps off the page with her for me. Yeah, she's great, man, and she can kind of like I said, she can be so lovable. Then also like she can kind of flick that switch and kind of like lock in as she does when she fires up, you know. She can do that in matches. She can do that with a presence outside, out when she's out there live. You know, she's great, man. She ticks all the boxes. I think she has, you know, her ceiling is, I don't know. I think she can be quite transformative, to be honest. Depending on if they actually like really go with her. We'll see. I mean, obviously the Mercedes spot that she had, that was very big for her to have, and I don't think anyone's complaining thus far about this Statlander feud. That's no like, you know, obviously it's a step down from Mercedes because it's Mercedes, but that's the only reason why it's a step down. Do you know what I mean? Because it was Mercedes, you know. But it's not like it's not a step down that anyone's kind of like raising an eyebrow. It's Chris Stat.
It's
man.
like
this is actually bigger.
Prolonged, it's the first prolonged women's feud they've had that hasn't involved a title as well, I think. So
and if anything, it's a follow up because she lost the title and then went immediately into her next direction, like 10 seconds later.
Yeah,
exactly.
She's consistently been a focal point of the division, which they've really struggled with her in particular. Like even when she won the Owen last year, she didn't really do anything off the back of that. So I'm really happy for Willow. She deserves all the spotlight she's getting, and we'll get back into her in a little bit because she did have the match with Stat later on. But after the break, there was, I've lost it, where am I? There was an in-ring promo with Mark Briscoe, and he had quite a few words to say. He did his damn thing, indeed.
He did the damn thing.
He started off by saying that Jack Perry got lucky in the ladder match, and he must have eaten an extra bowl of what was it, Lucky Charms, and shoved a horseshoe off his ass. I think that is a direct.
You're missing one thing though. That man said he may be called Chicopee. He ain't scared of shit. Let that be known. That is true.
He did. Mark Briscoe is so quotable, and he just says the best things ever, including the fact he referenced the fact that it was Shark Week, and when he thinks of sharks, he thinks of blood, and when he thinks of blood, he thinks of blood and guts. And he declared himself as the first member of Team AEW for Blood and Guts in Tennessee. So, which it didn't surprise me. I wanted Mark Briscoe in this, but didn't Swerve cut a promo like 3 weeks ago being like, I'm going to be in that match? But they still called this like the first official. I don't know. Didn't matter. But
it was something where he was in there and the Bucks asked him if he wanted to be their man or whatever, and he just said, fuck that, and threw their shoes in the crowd. That's what the promo was.
Yeah, but he also had a backstage segment where he said about anarchy in the arena. He was just like, hey man, if there's going to be people defending AEW and you're looking at your top people, what I should be included. So it kind of surprised me a little bit that Mark Briscoe was the first person. But nonetheless, he was attacked by Jack Perry. Kyle O'Reilly came out to even the odds. He was attacked by Okada. The Bucks sauntered their way out. They hit their EVP trigger. And then the Acclaims music hit. So the segment ended with a little bit of a downer, but what can you do? These are the people involved in the story. But Mark Briscoe's promo was great, and the rest of it was a lot of fun. So, Monty, how is you feeling about all this stuff?
I mean, Mark Briscoe, you know,
Indeed.
Everyone loves Mark Briscoe, man. The AEW audience loves Mark Briscoe. People in the wider wrestling world love Mark Briscoe. It's Mark Briscoe. He's just another one, man. Like we were just talking about Willow being like one of the great baby faces, you know, and Mark Briscoe exactly up there. In my ideal world, there'd be the top male and female talent in the whole promotion. But you know,
never forget the Continental Classic agenda.
Yeah, and this kind of especially with the Mark Briscoe stuff up until like the Acclaim save, which I know we kind of all roll our eyes at, But yeah, just flowing this babyface, throwing a great match into a great babyface promo, into another good babyface promo, followed by a significant announcement. So it was productive. Do you know what I mean? Followed by some heels trying to get some heat, and yeah, man. And obviously the Acclaim come out and they do the save, which to be fair, it did get a bit of a pop, but it still wasn't anything that was, like I've already discussed before, kind of like worthy of this feud. This needs to be like big time, Like when the baby faces who are trying to stop the EVPs come out, like that needs to be a baby face that's gonna blow the fucking roof off the place,
That actually warrants them running away.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Billy Gunn.
You got Okada scuttering away from Billy Gunn. It's kind of crazy, But they did it in their like shithousery heel way,
chicken
and
shoot,
Okada was doing his fucking thing in the crowd. And,
he's like doing the DJ bit on the belt. Just
so, yeah, man. But yeah, all four of them got titles now.
They
all
have.
four of them got titles now, and they were flaunting them. Yeah, not an offensive angle. It's just an inherent issue with the program. Is that like the Acclaim just aren't? It kind of takes
not serious enough for this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But, give Mark Briscoe a microphone every single week, and I'm locked in.
Oh, God bless. Absolutely. I love Mark Briscoe.
They needed him in this match in the worst way. This feud needs baby faces the fans give a fuck about and will go through hell and high water with. Now, granted, injuries did kind of ruin a lot of that. Because imagine Eddie Kingston in this. Imagine Adam Copeland potentially in this.
Yeah.
And now we're stuck with the Acclaim. So, in FTR, I know I have my feelings about him. I like him a lot more than the Acclaimed right now.
Oh, yes. You don't know what you miss until they're gone.
The heart and soul of AEW,
I ain't gonna go that far, but I'm just gonna say
hey man, they don't miss any towns,
But hey, Colorado, he's probably in this too. Hopefully.
That did pop me that Colorado came out.
Yeah, it does look like Kyle could be quickly involved.
God bless.
I've got no complaints about that, But that would mean they like your Ospreay, Swerve, like they have to be in it, because as much as I love Mark Briscoe and as much as I love fucking hell, why am I blanking? We just said the name.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. As much as I like Kyle O'Reilly, as much as I fully love Mark Briscoe, they're not exactly like, It's a step up from the Acclaimed, Fuck, it's quite a significant step up from the Acclaimed, but it's still not. We need Ospreay or Swerve to be like. I can't. What day was I talking about? Yeah, like what day was I talking about? Like, if the story needs like a main antagonist, someone who's worthy of that. Whether it's Swerve or it's Ospreay, whether it's they're the two options. Let's be real. Who else could it be?
Yeah.
Hangman's a heel.
Hangman is
MJF's a heel.
God bless.
Mox ain't gonna want to do that shit.
Nah, I mean, I don't think Mox should be involved, regardless. To be honest,
no. I don't see Mox as a company like flag waver in any way.
And Danielson's probably winning the Owens. So
is he though?
Yeah. So Swerve Ospreay need to like come in, elevate this feud. And,
I don't think that Ospreay will. I think Swerve will.
Yeah.
I think Swerve will be involved. I don't think Ospreay will be.
Yeah, because he has a promo next week, so I'm pretty sure he's going to announce he's going to be in it there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so what we do is, this is what we do. We got the Elite to write off the Acclaim.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because pull back the curtain a bit. Like, we was hearing like rumors that like they were gonna do like a big write-off angle with Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Obviously, we ain't seen that, so I don't think they're still doing that. They might still do it. Who knows? Might do it in there.
They should.
Run up to Blood. But like, let's just all three of them. Let the Elite score a hat trick. You can just.
I know something about people scoring hat tricks in my city, so I'll just leave it at that.
where the fuck are the Moxley machine guns is my question. Not even necessarily just for this like angle and this blood and guts or whatever, but just where are they?
Fair question. I was
like,
actually wondering about it earlier.
It is what it is, man. He's working a job, 9 to 5. He ain't trying to wrestle right now.
Brother, he's taking so many indie bookings.
That's the funny thing. He's also taking 9 to 5 bookings too. So I don't know. They'll get him when they get here.
These boys. Anyways, regardless, Blood and Guts will be fun. Probably, maybe we'll see.
Oh, yeah, we'll see.
Be better than last year.
It's got Mark Briscoe in it, so it's not bad to that. You know,
it's got Mark Briscoe in it. It sure does. Before we get into the next segment, do we want to hit a couple of super chats? Please do keep them coming if you're feeling generous.
Yeah, we got
we
got one or two, I think. Ricky Worley 199, appreciate it as always. Daniel suffering Bill's character Garcia. It's been a tough road, brother. It's been a tough
2.5 years.
Yeah.
That man's whole character basically just suffering. It just is what it is at this point.
Bro, that Buffalo title win was like basically 2 years ago now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
It was exactly 2 years ago.
It's just I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. It
was always
we'll
it would have
talk a
been
bit more
so
about
easy for him to win the belt at Revolution, and they didn't do it.
They didn't do a lot of things, but anyway, we'll talk a bit more about Garcia. I guess like at the end of the review because of he was in the big angle, you know. And that's the Sultan, $2. Appreciate you as always. Cowboy is gonna rip off Dragon's head. I don't know, man. I think Dragon's beating him all though.
Hey, Cowboy, he hog tying him. I'm letting y'all know that now. He chaining Bryan Danielson up and letting him out to eat unless he needs some shoes or some wrestling boots from John Moxley in the locker room. I'm just letting y'all know that.
Oh man, I don't know.
I'm very bullish on the fact that Hangman is winning, but also Danielson's convinced me, and I was the person that said like a month ago, just like I don't believe Bryan Danielson. I don't buy into any of his promos anymore because he's Bryan Danielson. And here we are a month later.
What? This is a great thing because how many times in AEW single elimination tournaments are we like, and the way to book it, you're like, all right, y'all know who's winning it.
Mm-hmm.
We know y'all know who's winning it. We're just gonna move them on over, build like one person up to be a half-ass threat, and they win.
Yeah. I mean, him losing to Danielson would be a good way to get him into Blood and Guts because he's not going to get Swerve at Wembley, so might as well get him in. Damn, I'm talking myself into this.
It's a good scenario.
Tiny Khan, you know, he's wanted to give him the belt before. I think
yes.
He's like, I'm going all the way. Like, I'm not saying he's going to win the Open. He's going to beat Swerve at Wembley as well. This is where I'm at, you know.
I don't disagree.
He's getting his AEW fairy tale, you know. He had it in WWE at Mania, you know. And we all know that story. It's been told to death, as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And this obviously won't be the same, but like, you know, winning the world title at Wembley, it ain't bad, you know.
It ain't bad. Him not using Final Countdown for Forbidden Door, even though it would be a year since the first time he used it, did kind of cement the fact that he has a massive spot at Wembley to me because they wouldn't have not used it if he didn't. So,
like, would you play it in front of 11K or 40K?
I'm saying, like, I'm gonna okayed in an apology because I was so bullish on Hangman winning.
I'm still bullish on, but if he doesn't win, Caden, listen, bro, listen.
I will apologize live on air if it's necessary.
You're gonna eat a hat and apologize on there. You're gonna wear Bryan Danielson merch. That's what you're gonna do.
I don't own Bryan Danielson merch now that I think about it. I'll buy some. Send me the money and I'll buy some.
I mean, my girlfriend bought me a Daniel Bryan t-shirt before, but like it was like a kid's t-shirt, complete wrong size.
He thought she was a munchkin. That's crazy.
Like complete epic fail, like on my behalf. But,
it's the thought that counts.
This is what your queen does for you. Your queen thought you was a munchkin. I wouldn't take that disrespect towards you, Montel.
Listen, it was It was a good bit. Well, it wasn't actually a bit. It was an honest mistake. But, you know, content purposes. You know. Anyway.
God bless.
Yeah. Back to Dynamite then, Charlie.
Yeah, back to Dynamite.
Where
Please do
are
keep
we
your
up
super
to?
chats coming. We are up to Renee doing another backstage interview with Tony and Mariah. They were talking about Mariah's upcoming match on Rampage with Hikaru Shida. Tony makes a comment about how she wouldn't want to get into the ring with Shida if she had the choice. And she bolsters Mariah's confidence, basically tells her that she's got it in the bag, and tells her to do the chin up, tits out, watch for the shoes. So, not short and sweet, kind of just building a little bit more to their match, their eventual match, if you read between the lines. But what did you guys make of this one? Not too much to say, really.
Short and effective. They let you know that they're there and they're on screen, which they should be doing. And the one part that interested me was when Renee was like, "So what if she wins?" And he was like, "No, we ain't thinking about that."
Yeah,
it's like the festival fight part. Like, does Tony like aware that she has to like actually wrestle Mariah at Wembley if she wins this? Like, is she aware of this?
No, she entered into the tournament, so
You know what it is. But you know how Tony, she a little loopy these days.
I mean, she's a very unstable lady, you know. So
she be vibing. Thank God she wrestles again. Thank God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nothing to add really. Nice little, you know. Was what it was.
You know,
yeah.
Maintenance promo. Make sure you're there. You know.
Yeah.
You had the women's world champion on the show, and that's sometimes I saw your ass given for. So but up next was Statlander versus Willow in the semis, I want to say, of the women's Owen Hart Cup final. Stat tried to attack Willow. I don't know. I'm saying words. I might be wrong.
It was a match, you know.
It was a match. I don't know. But Stat tried to attack Willow during her entrance, and Willow ducked the clothesline and pounced her so aggressively, Stat rolled all the way back down the ramp to the ring, which was an incredible visual. I just got to say, I didn't necessarily not like their match at World's End, but my God, this was 10 times better in this dynamic. Like,
that match at World's End was kind of there.
They didn't click. I don't know what was up with it, but they did not click at all. But in it, like with Stat being a heel now, and Willow's just like week on week becomes an even better babyface than she previously was. This was a great match. It ended with Stokely giving Stat a chain. Chris Statlander tries to hit Willow with it whilst Stokely was distracting the ref. She misses. She almost hits Stokely, and Willow gets the pin with a roll up, which does make me think that it's obviously not over, but the next pay-per-view's All In. Could we see 3 women's matches at All In? Because I would be absolutely ecstatic to see it, especially if they run it back with a stipulation. We all know how well they did in those tag team street fights, so put them together in a match in a street fight. I am down for it. But Marcus, what did you make of this match on Dynamite?
Oh, I loved it. I loved every second of it. First, I am a big fan and a big stickler for when feuds are branded as former friends that hate each other now. They can't stand each other. It's on site whenever they're there. And they actually wrestle like it. And they start off fighting on the ramp. And that pounce, bro. Statlander felt like a damn tumbleweed. That shit was funny.
She just kept rolling.
And that German off the top rope. Oh my fucking God. And then the F5. Like, I say a lot about Chris Statlander. She's one of the best powerhouses in wrestling. She is. But she tossed Willow around like a rag doll at some points. But Willow held her own. Willow ain't no little girl now. Like, she tough. And I'm actually kind of surprised Willow won. Like,
Me too. I was really shocked.
Yeah, I had in my head that Stat was gonna win, and then Willow was gonna get her get back at a new date. But seeing how it ended with Stokely trying to run interference and backfiring, I'm 100% certain. We can just pencil in now. She's costing Willow next week.
You reckon?
I am so certain she's costing Willow next week. And as for when they run the rematch, I think
they should do it All In.
I do too. I wouldn't be shocked though if they made a marquee match for All Out though, just because they need matches for that card.
They have an extra week to build the card. I do not care. They should do it All In.
I don't either, but they might. No,
They might. They might, but I disagree that is the way they should approach it. But I get your point. Monty, how was you feeling about this match?
Yeah, like you mentioned the AEW World's End match, like there was just something off about it. You know, I don't know how if they were like I'm not underprepared for it or
hometown jitters,
just
maybe
just an off night. Just like it happens,
like
you know.
They're two wrestlers that need a dynamic to really sink their teeth into if they're going to wrestle each other. Because some wrestlers who are great and can just roll the ball out and just poop. I don't think that's their dynamic. They need a real like reason to fight, and Willow's just a great babyface. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, the World's End match was a bit weird, kind of an off night, unexpected off night as well, and this was just much better, you know. And I still think that only just kind of scratching the surface of what they're capable of as a pairing. In terms of in-ring, this was more just like the bomb fest, you know. They got straight into it, attacked on the stage, did a big spot on the stage with the pounce all the way back down to the bottom, which was great. And you already mentioned some of the big moves that they did, but yeah, man, they just traded bombs. This was under 10 minutes. The one at World's End was closer to 15 minutes. And you know, people who have listened to me on podcasts know that it's all about, you know, not people who are getting the time, like the stopwatches out, like, oh, how many over plus 10-minute matches do the women have in this promotion? It's just like, bro, so how effective is it? You know, this was a lot more effective as a match than the one at World's End, and the one at World's End was longer and looks better on paper. If you're like, oh, this one was 40 minutes and this one was only 8 on TV, you know. But yeah, you know, I was actually kind of surprised to see Willow win. You know, I was expecting Stat to win, to be honest. But yeah, I'm sure, as Mark said, they'll carry it on pretty imminently, and they'll be tangling with each other pretty soon. Probably is the Wembley match, to be honest. So
yeah, I hope it is.
I like this as kind of like a taster of what like that eventual Wembley match could be like. You know, like I said, they were trading bombs, and they were more like they were just on job better than they were at World's End tonight. Not last night, Wednesday night. So good shit, basically.
Indeed. Yep. I would happily trade out Stadium Stampede to see Willow and Stat in a street fight at Wembley Stadium, to be honest.
Do we really need?
I don't need stadiums. I don't need it this year. I don't need them to continue this elite Team AEW feud to add another fucking stip match under their belt. I don't need it. That's what they did with fucking whatever it was last year. I don't know whoever was feuding at some point last year.
But no, like also I don't
know. That Mox was in that match and he had skewers in his forehead. That is all I remember.
I mean, that's pretty cool. But like as a live experience, that shit had to be kind of annoying watching them brawl over the stadium.
It was cool, like at points, like being on the floor, like you might have caught a glimpse of them or whatever. But I watched most of it on the screen. Like you couldn't see shit. Like
I can't watch wrestling on the screen. I can't do that.
I ended up, to be fair, Wembley Stadium's so big, like where our seats were, they weren't bad seats. But if everyone was stood up, I'm not tall, so I was watching a lot of it on the screen until I went back up to the media spot, anyways. So
do what you had to do.
I did what I had to do. The vibes were great, but continuing. Next segment, Renee was once again backstage. She really did have her working boots on. She tried to get a few words from Jeff Jarrett, but Jeff Jarrett had nothing to say, so Jay Lethal spoke on his behalf. Lethal said that Jarrett's never been more prepared for a match, and that it's more than just the wrestling. It was about honoring his best friend as well, because obviously everyone knows Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart were very, very close in the past. Nice little segment. I really have too much to say about it. Do you guys have anything to add about Jay Lethal speaking for Jarrett here?
Not really.
Old boy was too locked in to say anything.
Indeed.
And,
Double J was too loved the guitar.
But, you know, wore his heart on his sleeve, wrestled his heart out on Wednesday night, you know. But we'll get to it.
We will. We do have, I think, at least one more segment. There was a lot of talking in a row here because we cut to Tony Schiavone being in the ring and he introduced the returning Dr. Brit Baker, DMD. I'm not going to go over everything she said in the promo. It was very, I've returned after a long injury, babyface sort of promo. She did mention that I'm not going to try and say what it was that she suffered from, but she essentially had a mini stroke. Her brain wasn't getting enough oxygen, but she's good now. She's cleared to come back and wrestle. She said she was worried about like coming back and that people wouldn't accept her, but she felt the love from the Forbidden Door crowd. Yeah, it was just a very typical I've come back from an injury sort of thing, but it wasn't long until she was kind of interrupted. She threw some shots at Mercedes, talking about how there's a new face of AEW in her absence.
God,
she wasn't gonna let me get. Do you want to talk about Brit before we get into the Mercedes stuff? Do you want to?
What
it was
beast.
a lot. You don't have to.
What a beast, you know, just coming out there, the ultimate baby face, you know, just, you know, connects with the people, some real life emotion, some real stories out there.
Can you pronounce the name of the thing that she suffered from? Because I physically cannot say it. I have tried.
TIA, just call it TIA.
TIA.
And if you was pretty accurate. As most people just refer to it as like a mini minor stroke kind of thing, or like a pre-stroke, and it's something that just has to be seriously really monitored, especially for the first year following it, because like there's quite a worrying percentage of people who have an actual heart attack following having the kind of a, you know, cardiovascular event that Brit unfortunately had. So yeah, it's definitely something for her to keep an eye on. But obviously she's been given the all clear, hence why she's been very you know, cautious coming back. So obviously she detailed all that in much better detail than I just did, and just talked about it's been a weird road, and you know, she's back. Queen of AEW is back. You know, the face of the division is here. You know, and there's a new girl on the block. No, she's not having it, Charlie. She is not having it. Nope. She is not standing for people to take these newcomers, these ex-WWE, you know, these I don't know, these non-OG, non-day one, non-Wembley performing talents to come over here and
that gotta have their 3 letters superimposed in their music to get it over. Like, I'm just quoting Brit Baker. I'm just quoting Brit Baker.
This is what I'm saying, Charlie. You know, coming over here, claiming status and trying to manufacture chants. You know what I mean? Brit Baker never had to do that. Just saying. You know, she's representing AEW, and
she was not wrong in anything she said. She was a day one. She was the first woman to sign a contract.
And hey, man, say what you want about Brit Baker, both as a wrestler and other things. She's a star, bro, and these fans love her. They do.
Bro, being in the building for her return at Forbidden Door, I don't know how. I haven't watched back like her return. That energy was fucking crazy. Like, that was one of the biggest reactions of the night, and we'd already seen Okada at that point, and everyone had the reaction to Okada. So
it felt like it. She jumped off the screen.
That is what she's great at. More bad, I just spilt the smoother. One sec. I'm sorry.
Damn, boy.
I'm just gonna keep my earphones in and talk through this anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, Brit Baker's a beast, is what I was saying, people. These are things that just the streets need to know, you know. I will be educating the people on why Brit Baker is important to this company, you know. She might not be the greatest in ring. She may make you cringe a little bit with a little Twitter line here or there in a promo, but she's a star. You know, she's a star. The people react to her. The people love her, man. The people love her, bro. And the way she kind of like, I know it was a real situation, and it's something very serious, of course. And of course, there's a genuine, loads of genuine authenticity to it. But it just pops me like Brit Baker coming back just to like go straight into the Mercedes feud and babyface herself fat big in a first promo. This is what wrestling needs: more politically minded people. You know, this is what we need. So, you know, a lot of women are going to be hate watching this feud in the back, but it's going to create some moments. You know,
it might get very funny.
It's had a few moments.
Yeah,
it might get hilarious, but I will say I did like the actual segment itself when we go into it. But
yeah, actually,
just 1 second though, just to be very serious for a minute, the TIA thing, that is some serious shit. Like,
absolutely.
I was 16. I saw my mom have a TIA. It was genuinely one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's nothing. Like I said, her being out for as long, got to be extremely cautious with these kind of things because it's basically like a mini heart attack. You know what I mean? So it's scary, especially as an athlete at her age.
Yes.
You know, so it's very concerning. So, of course, but yeah, just the Brit promo itself without me like hamming it up and doing a big bit, but yeah, like I said, the people have missed her, man. The people really like her, and as much as I kind of like it popped me for sicko reasons, she babyfaced herself huge, and that was even more evident when Mercedes interrupted. I guess I'll just go straight into Mercedes. You know, she pulls up, greeted by the EVPs. Not a good look.
I've been waiting for so long.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for so long.
When I say not a good look, I mean in terms of like heel babyface dynamic.
Yes,
I don't mean anything like actually not good. But like obviously Brit Baker's babyfacing herself huge, telling her a genuine story about her health and everything, and then Mercedes interrupts, greeted by the EVPs, all friendly with them, and obviously she was walking out there to try and celebrate a title win, whilst Brit Baker was trying to have a return. So it's just like I saw someone ask, like, why was Mercedes getting booed now? It's like, because the Boston thing, the Boston thing was the Boston thing. Do you know what I mean? They're in New York. Boston Celtics have just won the playoffs. Like, you know, they caught on and started booing the shit out of her. That's just one of those things. But on Wednesday night was very much manufactured, you know? So, and Mercedes is just better as a heel, bro. I think she just enjoys it more. Like, I don't know if it's just my fan fiction shit, you know, when you just kind of like,
you definitely could tell when, like,
you know,
you definitely tell in the Forbidden Door, she had so much fun with it. She was enjoying herself.
Yeah, even when she was doing her stuff in Japan, you could tell that she loved having it up and being a heel with those girls, I should say.
I think it was fun. It just is.
Yeah. She gets to just be a bit of a dick. It's great. It's a great time. And she's very good at it. She was very good at it here as well.
Absolutely. And like the back and forth, it's just like they're going back and forth, and like they're getting the quotes off, like what line, bitch, and bitch this and bitch that, and
they dropped the bitch
the face palm.
That was genuinely hilarious.
Palm, which was epic.
Yeah,
you know what I loved about it? It felt like those 2021 big time face-to-face promo us, but like a lot of them, they involve CM Punk, you know, but like there was ones that didn't involve him. There's plenty of them, you know, and this kind of had that energy about it where it just felt big. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it's like people can say, I thought Mercedes held her own as a promo here. I know that like a lot of her promos can be like tough and kind of like awkward and can kind of like make you cringe a little bit or whatever the fuck. But there is issues with Mercedes as a promo in terms of, especially for her standards as well. I thought she was out there, did a thing. Brit Baker, we know what she's capable of. She didn't say anything too fucking hilarious or cringe-worthy. So
the line about Mercedes being in the crowd at Wembley while she was wrestling did pop me though.
That was
broken funny. Bitch.
Yeah, the broken bitch. That did pop me.
That was funny. It was.
It popped me more because she had just been babyfacing herself about the injury she had, like the illness she had just come back from, and she immediately slated Mercedes for not wrestling at Wembley.
Hey man, she ain't lost the edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she has not lost her edge. That is one thing you can say about this promo battle.
Yeah, man. Brit was good. Mercedes was good. It could go in a hilarious number of directions. You know, but,
it can either be one of the best feuds of all time, or it could be a car crash TV. There's no in between.
I am locked in, and they're talking about the fact that All In exists and it's happening more than 3 weeks before the show. So, and for a women's feud at that, so I am happy to see it, and it likely is going to be the All In match.
Can we just talk about the women's division real quick? Because everything they're doing for Wembley right now just feels big time.
Oh, yeah. If you look at the 3 potential women's matches, Mercedes and Brit, Tony Mariah, and potentially Willow Stat, like that is 3 big time matches to have on at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, it's a strong direction. It's promising. It's definitely promising.
Mm-hmm.
It's been something that I've been very happy to criticize about AEW's lack
Yeah.
of focus and lack of direction for the women's division, and kind of just lack of making me feel like it's even something Tony Khan wants on the fucking show for a lot of the years that AEW has existed so far. But now it's very much picked up. There's directions. You've just named their 3 big feuds. Like that's always a good sign, you know. And they're all hitting. Like I think I mentioned the other day, like, you know, the Tony Mariah and the Mina stuff and the blah blah blah, and some of the tones to the certain flavour they've gone with for that kind of stories. Like it's not for me, but it's big, and Tony's one of their big stars. Like legitimately, numbers back it up. And the AEW audience is taken to, because Mariah May is still new. Do you know what I mean? In like a general like sense, like in terms of their big stars. And it's so far so good in terms of her like progression, in terms of how the audience sees her, cares about her, etc. Willow and Stat, we've already spoke about, goes without saying. And this and the big business, you know, Mercedes and the dentist, you know, that is. Oh, I'm gonna get content out of this, folks.
It's the fact they're doing it immediately. They're doing it like off the rip is the best part about it.
I think that's just a testament to the women's division that they can go to it immediately. They haven't got to hang about and save the match, because there's still big feuds to do even when they do this match at Wembley. So
yeah, don't shy away from it. Just go ahead and run it. It's your biggest show of the year.
Hell yeah. Definitely better than the women's matches that we got last year. Regardless of that.
Hey, man.
I mean, let's be real. The Wembley Stadium, the all-in build has already been 10 times better this year, and it's 7 weeks from the pay-per-view. So
there you go.
But they're acknowledging it exists.
Yes.
They're acknowledging it. That is my big thing.
No, that was like it is actually like good that you bring it up and highlight it, because it's like, bro, last week we were fucking banging our heads off the wall like, when are they going to build and promote All In? You know, like what are we doing?
We went on rants.
It was, and we was getting called bad faithers because look how many tickets have sold, bro. And it's like fucking so. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
the thing is, you gotta get them back in the building the next year. So you gotta build this.
Exactly.
But yeah, maybe not having the cushion of knowing that it's going to sell out, because I think after the early indications, like after the first initial release of tickets and stuff, like it was pretty clear that it was going to sell out, even though before the release it was kind of up for question. But like I said, after the first initial wave of like ticket buying happened, it was like, oh shit, this is actually going to sell out, or get very close to. Whereas this year it's very different, because it's just like the novelty is not there. It's just different, you know, because the novelty of it was the big selling points. First time in the UK, the literal first time in the UK, a starved, starved market, like literal starved market. Do you know what I mean? Like they were dying for an 8. Like they would have took a Dynamite. They could have done the 25,000 seat Dynamite if they wanted. You know, like that's how starved it was. So you know, it was actually a really good, cool business move of them to do Wembley, to actually finally feed into this huge market that loves wrestling as much as the UK does. But to go back, obviously, the next year, the novelty is not there. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, 40,000 tickets, selling 40,000 tickets, you're selling 40,000 tickets, people. Do you know what I mean? But it's just not, obviously, it's 80,000, it's literally twice as much, you know? And the tickets just don't seem to be moving much this year.
As of next week, we'll know the world title matches.
Yeah, pretty
6 weeks out, we'll know the world title matches. I've just like put that, I've like clocked that in my head just now, like how soon that date is. So they promote those, right?
Yeah, and they told you weeks before that the winner of this tournament's going to be in those title matches.
Yeah.
I mean, Mania build, man. That's what it's got to be. It's got to be like a Mania build.
I think they'll get up to 60k. I think they'll be. I'll be at 60k by Showtime. I think they can do it. I think it's if they do the promotion right over here and they get like people over to do like the media and stuff, I think they could easily get to 60K before show.
I mean, it's all those late buyers that are like really decided. I think we're not going to see much in terms of like WrestleTix updates. Maybe like the week of there'll be like some big movement, but it's like, bro, like when you look at WrestleTix's first update from 2024 in like January or I think it might have been like around Christmas time. It's like they've sold literally like 6K tickets or something all year. It's not like those tickets aren't moving, bro. You know, like.
Apparently they're on the similar projection they were to last year. That's what Tony Khan said at the media scrum. I was just like, I don't believe you.
Tony said that Tony was talking about the pay-per-view numbers being not great and shit as well, and they're not. You know, well, early indications suggest that they're not. In comparison to what they normally do,
Indeed.
We aggregated Dave's report because obviously he covered like what the early estimates and stuff are based off the numbers that he's got. And someone asked like, "Is this good?" And I was like, "Well, no, because it's under kind of what people were projecting, and it's also under what they were doing year on year." Then I had a bunch of people like, "Well, over selling 100K pay-per-views is still good." It's like, well, yeah, in that context, so yeah, it was good, but in terms of what AEW was targeting and shit, like, no, it wasn't, you know. But
it is good in the sense
early
that,
estimations.
You know,
it's early estimations, and AEW pay-per-views have done good on late buys in the past, so it wouldn't surprise me if it actually does creep up to the 130, 140 range, which was the projection, you know. So we'll see what happens, but 110 is not good, you know. But it's not like end of the world. It's not like, oh my god, stop doing pay-per-views, bad or anything. It's just not. It's just under the target, you know. So anyway.
Back to Dynamite.
Went on a tangent. We should probably do some super chats. Considering we're already on a tangent, let's just go into some super chats right now.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. We got 30 minutes before SmackDown. Fuck it. Mass184 199. Great thing about Hanger versus Bryan is unpredictability. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a lot of me and Charlie's who are firmly on either side as well. You know, like I'm going Danielson. She's with the cowboy. You know, and it's good. It's a good thing because it's not unpredictable. You know, like the weird, like anything could happen, bullshit DQ or you know, let's do a swerve, bro. Like it's a good way. You know,
it's generally like if you go either way, it won't be a wrong decision.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's like who's going to turn the nose up at Bryan winning the bout? Yeah, it might not be the most productive thing in the world, but. Bryan Danielson, man, you know. It's then like if Swerve beats Bryan at Wembley, it just further like cements him because he's an emerging top guy. You know what I mean? So it's like him getting big wins. I'll never kind of, you know, criticize a promotion for trying to build their next guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as it's not like ridiculous and it's someone that the crowd's rejecting and shit. You know, which WWE have done many times in the past, but. So anyway, bro, 499. Nigel been saying someone has to stop this guy before he hurts himself, or doctors check on him after every match now. Makes me want to believe. I mean, listen.
The closer we get, the less I'm convinced.
I admire your capacity to believe, bro. I admire it. And that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
It's 2024.
Maybe we'll get it in Wales. Who knows? It would be very funny.
Fuck it, why not?
It would be very funny.
Charlie is being attacked here by Dan V 900 with 999. He says Charlie pushing Conor Mills against Bryan is the wrong agenda.
Not bad.
It's Blue Panther against Zack Sabre Jr. All other combos of did you say Black Panther then? Blue Panther against Blue Panther versus Black Panther versus Zack Sabre Jr. would be interesting as well, but you know. All other combos of Blue Panther, Bryan, Hechicero, and Zack Sabre Jr. happen. Bryan versus ZSJ, free at All In, if no Bryan versus Nigel. But Bryan's winning the world title.
Why can't these agendas coexist? They're different wrestlers. Why can't I complete both sentences?
It's more so the first sentence and the last sentence. I think he's thrown us off with all the stuff.
That first sentence is extremely British of you. I'll just say that.
Listen, I was sat in an Irish pub in New York. No, I was in the state of New York. I was in Long Island, and they announced that Zack Sabre Jr. would be wrestling Hechicero at the Revolution Rumble. No, not the Revolution Rumble. The Revolution Anniversary show the night before All In. And it just kind of popped me to be like, well, Conor Mills has wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. and Hechicero, so now he should wrestle Danielson.
Who the fuck is Conor Mills?
Conor Mills is one of my he's one of my guys. He's a Brit Rest guy. He's
sounds about right.
Fuck off. Shut up. Conor Mills is great.
Y'all like Conor Mills so much? His name rang in the streets?
I tweet about Conor Mills a fair bit.
Well, that's
I tweet about a lot of Brit wrestlers. You tweet about a lot of Brit wrestlers.
That's as good as it gets.
Charlie
tweets about him. Anyway, he's an alright talent, you know. Which Charlie does.
He wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. this year.
You know, Charlie does have a
phase. I have my boys.
She does. But yeah, shout out Nigel. Let's make that Brian match happen. It would be wonderful. I don't think it will be Wembley though, brother. Caden, part of Fan 199. Marcus Foots and R-Truth versus Drake Maverick.
Get the fuck out of here. I will not watch R-Truth versus Drake Maverick. You have to pay me $1 million for that.
$1 million.
And I don't think you got it.
Everyone's got the price. Adam Legend, $5. Appreciate you as always. His 2.0 can look great coming out of black and gold, then the Acclaim can do the same thing.
One of these things is not like the others.
Hold on, is he talking? Is Bullet Club 2.0 coming out out of Blood and Guts?
He's talking about Danielson.
2.0. Danielson.
Yeah. Okay.
Coming out of Blood.
Yeah. The 2.0 as in the tag team 2.0 coming out of Blood and Guts, not NXT 2.0 coming out of Black and Gold. 2.0.
You are so fed, Bill.
Bro, I got lost there. You know.
The sound you hear is a drone going over Monty's house.
Also, Billy Gunn is massive. Most guys would run from him. Oh, come on, bro.
He's 64 years old.
You're a nasty dude. You know that,
bro. Also, I live in the state of Florida. You know
it was free.
You know what's legal in the state of Florida? Open carry. Billy Gunn runs up on me. Shoot his kneecap.
Dan V 900 499. Appreciate you again. Hanger wins the Owen and should beat Swerve. Brian puts it all on the line at Wrestle Dream in his final full-time match at home and avenges the Owen loss.
I like that.
I actually like that.
But that cuts off Hangman's run again. But you can ping pong the title a little bit. It would be fine.
Yeah.
Plus, it's Tacoma, Swerve's hometown, and also Brian's a Washington guy too, obviously. So
he'll be okay.
Fine.
Mercer 84 199. Will WrestlePurists have representation at Wrestle Dynasty? That's like 6 months away, bro. It does sound like something Charlie would like come up with some sick idea to go to, so we'll see what happens. Caden, he's another suspect. We do have suspects, you know.
I have looked at flights and financial situation.
We know. We know what you've done.
I haven't booked anything, but then again, I booked my Forbidden Door flights.
You know.
I have had conversations like, so do you guys want to split accommodation? I think me and my friend Catherine are going. I think it's happening. So
there you go, people.
If you say a thing it's happening, it's definitely happening in your case.
There you go. Berkey 199. Appreciate you. Better catchphrase merchant, Brit or LA Knight? I mean, LA Knight he's very masterful with it, you know. But neither are merchants, Berkey. You know, these are two extremely talented big stars that we're talking about here. Real heavyweights for the industry. So please respect them and super chat accordingly. Anyway, back to Dynamite. We've got 20 minutes before SmackDown, and as everyone knows, I am the fed-pilled guy on the.
It is.
So let's get to it. Let's.
We have a little bit to get through, but I'm assuming at least one of these segments we can skip.
EVPs into. Okay, we're kind of. Hold on. Oh yeah. No, I was reading it. Jericho. Yeah. Oh, fuck
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah,
Jericho.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so Ospreay with Renee, but Don Callis comes in and was like, and they were having a conversation about the result at Forbidden Door this past weekend. I think I skipped over a video package, but whatever.
It happened.
It happened, yeah. Ospreay says that it kind of broke his heart the way that Don Callis came out and interfered because Ospreay didn't want that. He doesn't want to hit the Tiger Driver anymore. He's not that guy anymore. And asked to leave the Don Callis family. Don Callis says he's not usually in the business of letting people out of agreements, but he loves Ospreay, so he'll make an exception for him. But because he's doing Ospreay a favor, he expects him to do him a favor in the future. So fuck knows what that means. Carl Fletcher looked very, very sad in the background and left with Don Callis. So I expected this to play into the match at the end, and it did not. So now I'm scared of when it is going to come into play.
Can't trust that, man.
Ospreay's gonna die. Right?
That's all I've got to say about that.
The Bill's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good little segment. We'll see how it plays out in the future, I guess. Sorry, excuse me. Jericho came out. I don't want to talk about Jericho, so I'm not going to. There was he did kick Taz off commentary though, which was very unfortunate. There was a 6-man tag. It was Cage of Agony versus Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hook. This match was fun. I didn't think there was a whole lot to it. The fact that Shibata and Hook does the Joe walkaway spot now does pop me a little bit, and it seems to pop Joe every time they do it as well, so I don't hate it. But Samoa Joe and Co got the win with the triple submissions. Jericho said on commentary he was going to go in and congratulate them, but him, Big Bill, and Brian Keith actually just attacked them, and they beat him down, and I'm sad this is continuing. No, that was after Hook was getting checked out by trainers and he got fireballed as well. That did happen.
I mean, yeah, knocking out 2 segments in one, people.
Yeah, combine them.
Yeah, here we go.
I have nothing to say about all this other than the fact that 6-man was fun.
Yeah, I'm over it.
That's real.
I don't even think the 6-man was very fun, to be honest. It kind of, it was all right. You know, it was just there. If it wasn't on the show, I wouldn't have cared. You know. Like, I had to listen to Jericho and commentary throughout it. That's probably what the main thing we found off-putting about it. It wasn't bad. It was just, I didn't need all that, you know. And Jericho doing his voice, and anyway, what was next, Charlotte?
Next up, Jeff Jarrett came down to the ring. He made his entrance, and we found out who the wild card was. And to the surprise of everyone, it was the returning Hangman Adam Page. And he looked to be in quite the mood coming down to the ring. He's got a new entrance video. He's got a new theme song. It wasn't Ghost Riders in the Sky, and I'm slightly sad about it. But it was still, I thought the song was pretty fitting, so I don't hate it. This match was not the match that I was expecting. But it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. It was a good time. Hangman was wrestling like quite stoically. He only really reacted to the crowd when they started chanting about Swerve at him, which makes sense. That is like the feud that he left out of when he was taking time off. They did some solid back and forth. Jarrett made a solid push, and the crowd were reacting like appropriately. But ultimately, Hangman hit the buckshot and Deadeye combo to get the win, as was expected. Monty, what are your thoughts?
You know full well, Charlie, that I was very offended by this when it happened. But by the end of the show, I kind of found a bit more reason with it, because when the way that they built this up, if like, you know, Jeff Jarrett having like this really like noble, heartfelt connection to the Owen Hart tournament and building it up, and you know, we see it from a mile away. You know, Hangman's gonna come in, he's gonna fucking kill him. You know, it's gonna be like this heartbreaking thing, and you know, Jeff Jarrett makes his entrance and stuff, and he's like, okay, who is it? Because obviously it's a wild card. There is a couple of thoughts, like maybe it's like someone else, like Christian Cage or. Fucking maybe they just throw Ricochet out there, or do you know what I mean? It could have been anyone. It was just Hangman, and Hangman looked pissed, bro. You know, he's just coming out there. He ain't fucking around, and I'm like, oh my god, this old man is leaving in a fucking ambulance. You know, like, and they just kind of had like a match, and it was a good match. So that makes it kind of tougher to criticize in that sense as well, because it was like an actual good match. And but yeah, I was just thought. They kind of squandered an opportunity to do some like a really big angle, like literally have Hangman like kill Jeff Jarrett, you know. And he didn't really. They just, like I said, they had like a good match, and the aggression came from Hangman right at the end, where he just kind of after he hit the buckshot, hit him with a dead eye and some punches, and that was kind of as aggressive as he got. And obviously, it made more sense at the end because they did the big stretcher job and big angle like that at the end. So obviously, you don't want to do two back to back because it takes a shine off. So that kind of made it less offensive to me because I thought, as much as it was a decent match and happy to see Hangman back, I just thought they could have done something like emphatic. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. Hangman has just killed Jeff Jarrett, and he, even like had like a promo segment, like an online exclusive one after, like, you know what I mean? He was fine. Like, yeah, he got beat down a little bit, but but the match itself was good. Jeff Jarrett was locked in very much as Jay Lethal and the guys said. He made him proud. He had a very noble effort, bumping like it was 1996. It was a good match, man. Hangman looked good out there. Didn't look.
I think Money died.
Money's Wi-Fi has given up on him again. Marcus, how you feeling about the match, bro?
I thought it was pretty gas. I can't hold you. From that first, let's talk about Heyman real quick. So, yeah, you're live, Mike. So, Heyman comes out, like, the music just fucking haunting as hell. He looks like he's going to commit a homicide on national television. Like, everything about Heyman was just so fucking unsettling. I was damn near scared watching them come out to the ramp. I can't hold you. Then the match happens, and it's pretty gas. Shout out to Jarrett, man. Like, the combination of the crowd, his bump is selling, and the way people reacted to the sharpshooter spot were like, is he gonna do this? Like, he's actually putting on a real valiant effort for Owen, like he said he would. Like, this may have been one of the better babyface performances I've seen on TV all year. Like, it was excellent. And then the crowd, again, I have to shout the crowd. They knew what the fuck time it was when they hit them Swerve's house chants. Because that set Hangman the fuck off. Like, he literally went to the crowd, like, he screamed at the crowd. What the fuck is
that? Is that how you feel? Is that how you feel? Oh, it was good shit.
Like, it was great. The buckshot and then just beating the shit out of him on the ground and hitting the dead eye. He was like, all right, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck your friendship. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. I'm winning this, Owen. Go away. It was one of those things where, like, it wasn't what you expected and it wasn't what you build up in your head, but what you got was pretty great in and of itself. So that's what my general stance on it.
Absolutely. Hangman did progress on to the next round. He's facing Jay White on Saturday, and I think that's going to be quite chaotic. I'm very, very excited for this match. Hangman is finally going to beat Jay White, which I saw got some pushback on Twitter, and people were just like, why is Jay White going to lose to Hangman? It had to happen eventually, man. They're in the same company. It's going to happen.
He's 4-0 against him.
Jay White is 4-0 against Hangman Adam Page. He can take an L. It's fine. Relax.
Bro, if they just have Jay White goad him the entire match.
And he's going to talk shit.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be funny as hell.
He's already unstable as shit as it is.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And he demonstrated that in a backstage segment he was with Renee, but our EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, they came wandering into frame to celebrate with him. They talked about how they do him some favors and that they should keep doing each other favors and that Hangman should be in blood and guts with them. And Hangman got all up in Matthew's face and was essentially like, I'm not a little kid anymore. I'm not your puppet. I'm here to win the Owen and get to the world title again, and that is it. And he didn't say no to blood and guts, but he ain't agreed to it. So that is very much still up in the air right now.
Swerves in it, you know?
Oh, yeah, I am assuming that is what's going to be happening. He's going to see Swerve get announced and be like, that's my spot. But Marcus, did you like the promo?
I loved it because my thing is generally, what's next? How is he going to interact with the Elite? Because they did bring him back to put him in the Owen. Yeah. So it's definitely going to be some quid pro quo going on here. But Heyman's like, nah, nigga, fuck you. I'm not here for this bullshit. I'm here for the championship. I'm here to win the Owen. I got one thing on my mind, which is murder Swerve Strickland. That's it. But we're probably going to be the Owen. So if the Young Bucks just say, hey, man, there you go. You want a shot at him? Go ahead. Get you one. He's good. He is going to crash out on national television the minute Swerve says, I will be in Blood and Guts.
Oh, yeah. It's great shit. Yeah. I love this segment. Monty, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, man, it's good shit. This was like more kind of like, I don't know, like eye-opening than the actual match itself, I thought. Do you know what I mean? Like the way that he just fucking gripped up Matt and was like, yo, no, I ain't fucking playing your games, you know what I mean? Really charged up and just like the right energy, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah, this was good shit, man. Not too much to add.
And it's a character evolution for Hangman, because how many times do you see him with the Young Bucks and he's like kind of going along, getting along? Here, he's his own man. He's like, no, I'm not playing this bullshit no more. I'm my own person. I got my own mission here. I'm not fucking playing with y'all no more.
It's real shit. I'm very excited about it. I was also excited about our main event, which is what we're going to get into now. Obviously, Daniel Garcia versus Will Ospreay for a shot at the international title. I really enjoyed this match. I thought they did a really good job of building it. Also, I've said it before about Ospreay. He is someone that will give people a lot of room to get their shit in, and Garcia is someone that always takes advantage of stuff like that. There were some really cool spots in it, like Ospreay hit the cheeky Nando's and it fucking knocked Garcia straight out the ring. And obviously MJF was checking on him. Him and Ospreay came face to face. Ospreay gave Danny a free shot at the Kawada kicks, and Danny just did his dance in Ospreay's face. I was like, "You're getting cocky, brother," but it is what it is. It happens. Ospreay hit him with a Stars Clash. He managed to block the Oscar and hit that was like a fucking massive pile driver. And then coming off of that, MJF offered Daniel Garcia the ring. He debated it. He decided he didn't want it. And that is ultimately what cost him the match, because he turned around and got his fucking head knocked off by the Hidden Blade. And Ospreay retained the title. It was brutal, genuinely brutal. But we'll get into the stuff after. But let's go over the match first. Marcus, did you enjoy Dynamite's main event?
I mean, it's Will Ospreay versus Daniel Garcia. Of course I enjoyed it, you know?
Indeed.
Two good wrestlers. I mean, the build to it, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, Daniel Garcia, he's such a strong wrestler. And Will Ospreay, ain't nothing to be said. I was scared of just doing max cam every 20 seconds, like Grand Slam 2022, like they did in the Danielson Moxley event.
Yeah.
That shit was so fucking annoying. It took away from the action. But here, because they were telling a story of Max is definitely going to do something crazy here, something's going to happen, it worked for me. The action itself was really cool. The camera shot on that Hidden Blade was fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he just jumped out of nowhere and all of a sudden Dave was around like, boom, head all the way in the fifth row. So, good match. And the angle afterwards.
Oh, yes. Before we get there, Monty, did you enjoy this match? Was it for you?
Yeah, it kind of went as expected, to be honest. It was good. A bit of drama at the end. And yeah, man. Garcia, unfortunately, loses again. We'll see what's next
he
for him.
does.
And we saw what was immediately next for him with the big angle that they did. But yeah, this was a good match. I just love watching Daniel Garcia be able to kind of do his thing when he's being put in positions like these main events, and when he's with a wrestler as giving as Will Ospreay, as Charlie outlined, you know, and he can just get his shit in, because he kind of just has like this he has like a grit and competitive nature to the way that he works, which I don't think you see enough of now, especially in guys as young as he is. And I don't know, just a certain level of execution and professionalism and grit and just intensity and just kind of
just groundedness as a wrestler, as a character.
Yeah,
he's great, man. He's great. I love Daniel Garcia. Whatever AEW have got planned for him after this injury angle, you know, because still a lot of people kind of theorizing, is this the write-off? I very much doubt this is a write-off, because even if he is leaving AEW, which probably isn't, to be honest, I don't know that, but probably isn't. He's still got like 3-4 months left on his contract.
Yeah, it was reported
correct,
that it's October.
So, I'm sure, and obviously even on Dynamite or on social media, they give like an update, like, oh, you know, he's been taken to hospital. They wouldn't do that if it was like Ricochet. There was no like proper updates and stuff on Ricochet. Do you know what I mean? He was just like, he got taken off in the ambulance and he's done. You know, like, and now he doesn't. And now he doesn't exist. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Garcia does. As far as we're aware, he hasn't signed anything yet, but
indeed,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Good match though. Good match there for him, man. Then post match, give it to you, Charlie.
Post match, so Ospreay did his little praise after the match, as he does with his opponents. And Max came in saying that he's to blame for Danny losing, and then he just kicked him in the dick, which was like, yeah, checks out. It's MJF. I don't think anyone was surprised by him turning him.
No.
Like, he beat the shit out of Garcia. Like, he took it to like a new level. He tapped into the sort of shit that made him interesting when he was in the CM Punk feud. And if he stays on that level, I will be invested. But Daddy Magic came out. He tried to make the save and got absolutely clocked with a diamond ring for his troubles. And he was pissing blood. Danny was pissing blood. Max was screaming at the camera. Did this restore the feeling? This is your boy, that sort of shit. They emptied the locker room out. They got a bunch of security. CD came out. And none of them could stop Max from hitting the avalanche pile driver off the middle rope or wherever it was from.
Need better security at these shows, man. You know?
Yeah, they do need better security. Ospreay finally came back out, and that was what got Max to run away into the crowd, because Ospreay remade his appearance, and Christopher Daniels was trying to tell Ospreay not to overreact and not make a scene. I'm just like, I mean, it's kind of valid. Max had just beat the shit out of someone on the roster, and Max got into it with a fan in the crowd. That he did not want no smoke, like, because he moved swiftly away. But yeah, so MJF is a piece of shit, as we expected. I really loved this post-match angle. I thought it fucking ruled. I thought that everyone played their part really well. Danny got stretched out. I'm interested to see what the follow-up will be next week, even on Collision, like, because surely they should make reference to it. But Marcus, what were your thoughts and feelings on the build, real quick? Before we get
the best angles they've done all year. This is real hatred. This is real music. This is what I need out of Maxwell. I've had so many criticisms of what he does as a character on TV. The promos being overly long and just all over the place every so often. But no, Max, listen to me closely. Be a sadist. You're great at it. As we just saw on Wednesday. You beat the dog shit out of Garcia, who the fans love. You rubbed your blood all over your shirt. It was a great visual. You broke his fucking neck in several places off with the damn pile driver. you almost fought the fans in the crowd. You spit all over them. You did everything about this was heated. It was quintessential good Max.
Yeah.
It was unsettling. It was terrifying. It was everything you want a big heel turn angle to be. So I give everybody involved, from Danny to Max to even fucking Christopher Daniels coming out. I give everybody their tens on this. I really did. It was a great angle. I enjoyed the hell out of it. One of my favorite angles they've done all year long, and quite frankly, in a long time period.
Yeah, I do agree. I agree with all that. Monty, how are you feeling after this angle to close out Dynamite?
I mean, in a vacuum, I liked it quite a bit. You know, MJF turning heel again, and even when he was a heel before he turned babyface, and before that went well, before it fell off a cliff and went terrible, it was just like he can still be a heel, but just be more sadistic, you know, and be darker, and you know, stop being so like wink and shit with it, you know.
So
hopefully, and obviously, you know, judging from this angle, there were glimpses of that. So hopefully that is the direction he hopes to take this new heel character, if it is a new heel character and not just the same old Max, you know. I don't think it will be, though. I think he will bring some new elements to it. Hopefully they will be good. But I don't know, man. I think there's just certain things about it that kind of concern me. And look, when I look at it from like the Daniel Garcia point of view, of him just kind of being used as like the sacrificial lamb to supplement this MJF versus Ospreay feud, because early indications from what we hear aren't. It's not like Daniel Garcia is going to get he's pinning MJF at Wembley. You know, like that ain't the plan. You know, like so it's like. I don't know, man. Someone like Daniel Garcia, who we've been frustrated by for a long time, and hoping this big angle that he was involved in can lead to something. And I'm sure it will. He'll get like a title shot. Or we might even get an actual title win somehow out of all of this eventually. Yeah. But I don't know. Some of it, I do worry about Garcia's future in the sense of like, I think when he comes back, he'll do something big, and the people who kind of criticize his booking. They'll get a bunch of tweets at him like, see, you know, yeah. But I think the actual test when it comes to Garcia conversation is like a year from now, you know.
Yes.
It's like they've done good little pushes with Garcia in the past and made him feel important and stuff in the past, but it's just like it's always the then what with him, and it never actually amounts to anything, you know. So I think he'll get something big, but I just hope he's genuinely focused on as like a main part of AEW as one of their emerging stars, you know. So, so that, like I said, in a vacuum as an actual angle and what MJF executed, like I like what he did to cement himself as a heel again, but it's just like I do kind of have more concerns with what it was conceptually, you know. So, we'll see how it all plays out, man. So we'll see what they got for DG long term, you know.
Yes.
Because that's what interests me at this moment in time with him.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they do have plans, but that was how they closed out Dynamite. It was quite an aggressive closeout to Dynamite, the most aggressive we've had in a while, I think. But really good episode overall. I think they built a lot. They've really made the direction for All In evident. I think they've established what their top stories are going to be focused on this summer. Really good shit, to be honest. This was probably one of my favorite episodes of Dynamite this year. So I don't know how you guys feel overall, but I really enjoyed it.
It was really good, man. You know, it had big moments, it had a big heel turn, it had like the whole the big in-ring promo thing that popped me huge and kind of felt like a throwback to like a hot AEW. It had some great wrestling, like the opener and the main event.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, nothing was like except for like Jericho just fucking waffling on commentary and shit. Yeah. There was nothing like too offensive on here, you know. So really good show, man. One of the best shows of the year, I'd say.
Yeah,
I loved it quite a bit. Like things felt like they mattered on this show. Like the first opening little segment of them talking backstage and then leading to the heel turn that ended up mattering in the end. Hangman coming back and then the Young Bucks interacting with him and trying to get him to join Blood and Guts. But he's like, no, I don't want to do that. That felt like it mattered. Like things just felt important. It felt like they treated this episode with respect and gravitas, and they locked the fuck in. And that's all I asked them to do. And the good thing is, we've known MJF was scheduled for a collision on Saturday for a couple weeks now.
Yes.
He has a promo on the show on Saturday.
They made a point. Yeah, they made a point of saying that he's going to be opening.
Yeah,
that was a little
that match. You know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, that match is happening soon, people. You know.
Oh yes. We've got a few more super chats and then we'll get out of here because I'm judging on our chat. Jey Uso's opening SmackDown, I think.
With a couple yeets. Yeah,
there's some
yeets in the chat.
There's me.
Bruh. $4.99, appreciate it. Yeah. If Brian was going to say okay to winning the belt, why wouldn't he have just won that tournament of Champions League at Grand Slam after All Out 2022?
We have 2 years removed from that.
Yeah, and it's also just kind of a thing like maybe let's say is what the plan is. Like Brian is winning the world title at Wembley. Like that is because Tony Khan is like absolutely fucking adamant that he wants to do that for like to close out Brian's full-time career. And there's no way that Brian, even if he doesn't want it, he's being dragged kicking and screaming to win that belt. You know, that is what it would be. I don't think it's a thing where it's like Brian's like, oh, right, then I'll be world champ now. It makes more sense. I think it'll just be like, he ain't gonna drop it, you know.
He really should have won a Grand Slam though, because they could have still done
definitely.
Yeah, they could have still done the MJF title change with him. But they also could have still done the Iron Man match at Revolution and just run it back there. Because you would have had several months to build Bryan back up. Because you see, wrestled on TV all the time up to that build anyway.
Oh, so yeah. He was running the gauntlet, wasn't he? So.
Yeah, you could have still done it.
Yeah. I do wish that he had won it after All Out 2022, but it is what it is. It's just kind of the Sting thing where it feels like TK's finally bullied him into agreeing to having a title run. So.
Yeah. Showtime spells $5. Brian Keith gave up the DPW title for a learning triangle. Don't know whether to applaud the commitment or shake my head in shame.
Hey man, that man said you gonna cry on DPW or cry on national television.
Contract money is contract money, brother. That's all I'm saying.
And that's a sort of $2. I need these happy-go-lucky face thing to stop, man.
If we're talking about Jericho, I agree.
Oh,
wait,
I'm pretty sure it's Danny. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Danny. Yeah, I just realized you said face. I agree either way. You are correct.
He was very much at his best when he just challenged the top guys on the roster and said, I want to fight you. I think I can hang with you. When he first got on the roster, like, bring that back.
Yeah. Like with DG, I need DG to be feisty again.
Ooh, Bailey's wrestling Piper Niven.
Ooh.
I do like that combination. I do like it. They had a good match on the PLE, didn't they? Anyway,
It's a PLE.
We are not doing a SmackDown watch along right now. Let's wrap this up.
We're not.
Well, Monty might be, but I ain't.
Yeah. Gotta get out of it.
Yeah, so let's wrap it up then. Have we got anything I want to plug? I mean, Money in the Bank's tomorrow. I mean, you guys are far from big Fed coverage people, but any predictions? Gun to your head, who's winning the men and women's Money in the Bank? Charlie, I'll start with you.
I don't know who's in these matches.
Yeah, but you've probably known some.
Probably Jey Uso. I don't know. Is he in it?
Lock it in, Jey Uso.
He's definitely in that match.
In the women's.
I have no idea.
I'm trying to picture this graphic. I genuinely don't think I know a single woman in this match.
Tiffany, Lyra, Io, Zoe Stark, who the fuck else is in it, bro? Tiffany's probably winning that one though. Marcus, gun to your head, pick a man and woman, walking out with a briefcase.
Jey Uso's winning and he's cashing in the main event. And Tiffany's winning the women's Money in the Bank.
If he catches in the main event, that'd be pretty funny.
All right.
Is Chelsea in the women's match?
Yes, she is.
Oh, no, I'm looking in Chelsea. I want Chelsea to win. She pops me.
And Toronto also.
Fair enough.
True.
I'm going with. I think Drew is winning the briefcase, and that's the only reason why he's in the match. Otherwise, he won't be in it. And then I think he's cashing it in the main event after Priest has successfully defeated Seth Rollins. So we walk out of Money in the Bank. Drew McIntyre is champion. Damian Priest is still in the Judgment Day because he was successful against Seth. And then we kind of go from there. I think. I don't think CM Punk is going to spoil Drew's party this time. But we'll see. I think there could be some bloodline involvement for Jay, but they are supposed to be wrestling on the card, so we'll see. We'll see what happens, man.
I have a prediction in the women's match. Tiffany Stratton will hit the prettiest January 6th ever off the top of a ladder.
Yeah.
Some stickers will be on that briefcase.
All right, let's wrap it up. All right, people. We'll be back We'll be back at some point this week, man. I guess with like kind of the WWE PLE shows, pay-per-view shows. We'll probably find some room to do some sort of content over the weekend. The WrestlePurists podcast, something, And so just keep an eye on the Twitter page. Follow all of us. Follow the page. Like, subscribe. Leave a comment if you're watching this on catch up. That's the word I was looking for. And thanks for watching. Thanks for the super chats. And peace.
Peace.
Peace.